My name is Cass and welcome to this in-depth look at the very first update of Splatoon. It included one new stage, one new weapon, as well as one new game mode. First, let's look at the new map called Port Mackerel. Port Mackerel is built a lot like what is Warehouse, in that it has a very thin design. It is a bit wider than it, but it uses shipping containers that are placed in it to create a lot of small alleyways. The only bigger and opener areas of this map are located a bit away from the center of it. Most of the high ground is only accessible through the starting points. To get to the high ground in the center you have to climb those forklift thingies. Most of it is covered with plastic, so it isn't really a safe option sometimes, because you can't hide in your ink. The aforementioned lift truck thingies are a really unique and interesting feature of this map. They are always moving and inkable, but beware, they might catch you off guard when you try to flee. It's a pretty different and interesting map with a ton of potential. It's great to see that Nintendo gave Splatoon a very good map at the beginning of their update cycle. I hope this trend continues and we will see some other cool maps. Next, let's talk about the new weapon. The new weapon is the NZAP-85. It is a fast shooting shooter whose design is inspired of course by the old NES Zapper. With 3,500 gold, it's a pretty cheap weapon. Its sub-weapon is the Splat Bomb and its special the Echolocator. It has a high fire rate, medium range and relatively low damage. Compared to the Splattershot Junior and the Aerospray, it has a very narrow shooting trail. With 28 damage per shot without any damage ups, it takes about 367 milliseconds to kill a dummy. With that, it is right in the middle between the Splattershot Junior with 334 milliseconds and the Aerospray with 400 milliseconds. As you can see, its design might make it seem a bit gimmicky, but in reality it's a pretty good weapon with a ton of potential. Last but not least, let's talk about Ranked Battle, a new game mode. It isn't really part of this update, it was unlocked because now enough people are level 10. Of course you can start playing it when you reach level 10. It features a new mode called Splat Zones, where you have to capture one or multiple zones. When you have all zones, your timer runs down, and when it reaches 0, your team has won. When you lose the Splat Zones and the opposing team captures it, you get a penalty. It is added to your time and will count down instead of it. Unlike Turf War, one match is also 5 minutes long. But it can also take longer because there is something called overtime. When one team isn't able to get its timer to 0 and the leading team hasn't all the Splat Zones, the match will only finish when either the winning team captures the Splat Zones or Splat Zone, or the losing team captures the Splat Zone so long that their timer is one less than the opposing team. And with that they will have won. Penalty time isn't counted in that, and it will only use the real timer of each team. It wouldn't be called Ranked Battle if you weren't able to rank up. You start at C- and can get all the way up, of course, to A+. You get rank points for winning a match and of course lose points for losing a match. The higher your rank is, the less points you will get. So that should about cover the content of this update. I hope that my in-depth look was enjoyable to watch and informative. My name is Cass and I hopefully see you next time.